world are dramatically different. Warren Buffett earned his $41 billion the old-fashioned way, by investing in solid old-line companies that sell basic products: insurance, soft drinks, home improvement, and shoes. Bill Gates is the modern genius who earned his $50 billion by creating the world's largest software company, Microsoft. His innovative products include Windows, Office, and Xbox 360. In spite of their differences, the two men are close friends, and they share a common passion: interacting with America's brightest students. Today, Buffett has invited Gates to join him in a dialogue with students from the University of Nebraska School of Business Administration. Buffett earned his bachelor's degree here in 1950.
There was a girl I had a big crush on, and she was paying no attention to me. She was going with some guy to play the ukulele, and I thought it must be because of the ukulele, so I got a ukulele for her to play it, and she still ignored me.
Both men relish the opportunity to engage in spirited discussion with members of the next generation of business leaders. The one condition they placed on this event is that no faculty, staff, parents, or reporters will be allowed to talk. Only students will ask the questions.
We're all pretty excited just to have the opportunity to meet with the two richest people in the world.
There's a lot of questions.
I've been waiting for this all week.
I'm feeling pumped. I'm excited to see these people.
As the men take their seats, students selected by the faculty of the business college are ready with questions that have not been shared with either Buffett or Gates. The students begin with one of the most difficult questions facing business today.
Hello.
Hi.
My name's Kim Martin. I'm a senior finance major here at the university. My question is, how do you instill ethical leadership throughout your organization? And to begin with, how do you know that the management one level below you is making decisions that would parallel your own?
We have all the money we need. You know, we'd like to have more, but we can afford to lose money. But we can't afford to lose reputation, not a shred of reputation. And therefore, I ask the managers, I ask them to judge every action they take, not just by legal standards, although obviously that's the first test, but also by the test, what I call the newspaper test. How would they feel about any given action if they knew it was to be written up the next day in their local paper, to be read by their family, by their friends, by their neighbors, written by a smart but kind of unfriendly reporter. And if it passes that test, it's okay. And I tell them if anything is close to the lines, it's out. And they can always call me if they wanted to check something. But if they call me, there's something wrong with it probably anyway. So, and that's about it.
In Microsoft's case, our top management team, the majority of them joined us as right after whatever degree they got, if any. Now, our business in many ways is kind of simple. It's about writing great software. We sit down every year to go through the various things that people have to be careful about. We have products that have high market share. We do business all over the world. So there's some particular dictates, how you work with suppliers, gifts they might come forward with. But it's mainly the seeing these people in action that make us confident about their behavior.
I should mention that I am the only college grad up here. I mean,
yeah, I'll be taking my Harvard shirt off pretty soon because I didn't complete the whole course, so I didn't think I should leave it on the whole time.
well, they don't allow you to wear it more than half the day, as I understand it, actually.
Warren Buffett and Bill Gates give world-class advice to the students about good habits, making mistakes, and keeping their inner scorecard in check.
Hi, my name is Nicole Brockhoft, and I am a senior business administration major here at the university. And I was just wondering, what is the best piece of advice you've ever been given, and how has it impacted your personal or professional lives?
What did I tell you that impressed you the most?
Actually, I can answer that. When first I met Warren, we were talking about getting together and doing something again, and he pulled out his calendar, and the pages were so blank. And I said, wow, you know, you've managed to avoid getting tied into a lot of kind of meaningless activity. And, you know, Warren said, yeah, you have to be good at saying no. and picking the things that really make a difference. And that's one of many things I've learned from Warren, but that's one of my favorites. And so I can blame it on him whenever I'm turning things down.
Yeah, well, actually, I told him that was it. The truth is I don't get invited anyplace. I think that, I got an awful lot of good advice from my dad, and he didn't lay it on me. I mean, he just, you picked it up from him, but there was never any of this, do this, do that type of thing at all. But I think he really taught me that it's more important in terms of what's on your inner scorecard than your outer scorecard. I mean, some people get in a position where they're thinking all of the time of what the world's going to think of this or that instead of what they themselves think about. And if your inner scorecard, if you're comfortable with that, I think you're going to have a pretty happy life. And I think the people that strive too much for the outer scorecard sometimes find that it's a little hollow when they get all through.
I'm Mary Reiser. I'm an accounting major. I'd like to know, we all consider you to be the financial business experts, and we look to you and follow your lead. But when you need advice and feedback about an idea or decision, I'd like to know, who do you go to?
Well, usually I look in the mirror. I mean, to be perfectly honest. The nature of what I do means I have to think pretty much independently. Because if I take a poll, in effect, I'm going to do what everybody else is doing, and I don't think much of that usually in investments. And so I have to have an environment, I have to have a temperament personally that lets me think for myself. And I've got a terrific partner, a fellow named Charlie Munger. And you can't find anybody any smarter, any better quality of anything. But we think a lot alike, and we do talk things over occasionally, but we don't talk them over very often because I know how he thinks, he knows how I think. He's taught me a lot, and why should I pay for a phone call if I know what he's going to say? So if I need to get a cabinet around to make decisions or anything like that, I probably shouldn't be running the place. That doesn't bother me to have the responsibility for it, but I just don't want to put it up to a vote because I've seen too many, particularly in the investment world, as you get larger and larger groups making the decisions, they get more and more homogenized. And I don't think you will ever get brilliant investment decisions out of a large committee.
Yeah, for me, probably the most important decisions I make are a lot like when I pick what technologies the company's going to bet on. Those are a bit like Warren's, where you really have to be willing to be contrary, to leave some things aside and to go into some places that aren't very hot. If you get outside of that technical realm, I'm super lucky. I have Steve Ballmer, who's now CEO of Microsoft, and we're in each other's offices almost every day. He's more of a business type thinker. I'm more of a technology type thinker, but we a little bit have learned what the other one's going to say over the years, so we can give each other a hard time about the positions we expect. Outside of that, if I had some really tough decision, I'd talk to my dad, I'd talk to Warren, I'd talk to my wife Melinda. So I have enough people that know me and actually know where my judgment isn't its strongest, where I might get overexcited about something or forget to think about something. And so they're good at correcting, particularly Melinda, good at correcting whatever those blind spots are. And I think it's good to encourage your friends and advisors to really give them that license. I can go to a party and forget to say hello to various people or something. That's a very minor example of my blind spots.
Not to the hostess.
Melinda would help me do that.
Yeah, she would,
yeah. A small number of people that you can turn to on certain key things is a great asset.
And incidentally, at Berkshire, Bill has an integrated business. We have this diverse group out there. But we have 40 managers, and I really encourage them to be doing the same thing. I mean, they run their businesses, and they know how to do it, and they're going to make some mistakes, but they basically make the calls, and they don't have to check with us. It's amazing how decentralized we are in that respect. But But, you know, we bet on brains, and we bet on people with energy and brains and integrity, and they're going to call most of them right, and I think we would lose an awful lot by having all kinds of layers of committees to review that they had to check with and that sort of thing.
I'm Poulter. I'm an actuarial science major, and I'm a junior. And you both have several managers working under you, so I was wondering what are some steps that a new entrant into the job market can take to accelerate their journey towards an upper-level management position?
Yeah, well, one thing I will tell you that I didn't realize when I was getting out of school is how much the unusual person will jump out at you. I mean, you know, and it isn't because they got 200 IQs or anything like that. It's really because of just how they behave, you know, what they bring, the energy they bring, the commitment they bring, the quality of how they do things, how they treat the people around them, all kinds of things. But you will jump out much more than you might anticipate. One of the things you would want to be sure to do is, whether you like it or not, get very comfortable, it may take a while, with public speaking, for example. I mean, that's an asset that will last you 50 or 60 years, and it's a liability if you don't like doing it or are uncomfortable doing it, that also will last you 50 or 60 years, and it's a necessary skill. But a lot of the skills are just human skills. If you get the best out of people around you, that's a rare talent, and it doesn't correlate with IQ. It correlates with an attitude and toward the world and toward other people. And it's a talent that if you work at early and you're really conscious about it, you know, you don't have to show up other people. You know, you don't have to be smarter than they are or anything else. You want to bring out the best in them. It will pay huge dividends.
Certainly in the business Microsoft is in, the opportunity of an employee after they've been with the company, even say 3 years, people can start to rise. They can rise because they're good at strategy, and that's mostly writing things. They can rise because they're leaders of people. They can rise because they're an individual contributor. And we try to have career paths that are good for each of those things. The ideal person, to be frank, is somebody who's good at all three of those things. And as you get high up in the organization, the jobs really demand great individual thinking skills, being great with people and great with strategy. It's always stunning to me, given how many smart people there are, and in these individual buckets, there are quite a few people. But when you want that combination, it's rare. And I don't know why it is. It's possibly, if you're a good individual contributor, that you're given so much slack that you're never encouraged to reach out to other people and get their ideas. But the people who have that right combination, or if they're not good at one of those things, they partner up with someone and draw that missing piece out. Those are very rare. So whenever we're looking at top spots, you know, if we could find more people like that, it'd be a fantastic thing.
My name is Ryan Menlick. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. I'm a senior accounting major. When you were just beginning your career, what sort of things do you think made a big impact in your success? What habits did you develop, and kind of what sort of things could you pass on to us as younger people?
I had one habit that I developed when I was at college that was actually a very bad habit, which was I like to show people that I didn't do any work and that I didn't go to classes and I didn't care. And then at the very last minute, like 2 days before the test, I'd get serious about it. And people thought that was funny. You know, that was my positioning, the guy who did nothing until the last minute. Then when I went into business, that was a really bad habit. And it took me a couple of years to get over that. Nobody praised me because I would do things at the last minute, and I tried to reverse to students I'd actually I didn't think that highly of, who were always organized and had things done on time. I'm still working on it, but procrastination is not a good habit.
Bill can change clothes in the car. I mean, that's why we don't insure him at Geico, incidentally. But
I'm Daniel DiLoretto from Reno, Nevada. My question is, our society, or our generation, Generation Y, we face a lot of issues. What do you think are some of the most important or most challenging societal issues that we face, and what can we do as future leaders to ensure that we create a better society in the future?
I think the issues of equity that we have, whether it's between countries or even within our country, are pretty serious issues. And if you get too far out of whack on that, then you get a divide and you don't get the fluidity and the sense of opportunity that this country has stood for. So I think we really got to renew our commitment to the ideals around equality, and I think there's a lot of actions that suggests we should be taking to invest in the long term that certainly at this stage we're not taking right now.
I can't say it better than Bill, but we got lucky tickets in life. I mean, we got a ticket that said American, we got a ticket that said intelligent, we got a ticket, that said this time rather than 200 years ago when the same talents would not have produced much. So we got a very lucky ticket in life. A lot of people don't get lucky tickets. We were over in China together 10 years ago, and we saw some people that wouldn't make any difference what their brain power was or anything else. They weren't going to have a chance, at least for a long, long time. I think we've got to do a much better job of not only taking care of the people that get the bad tickets in this country, but in doing what Bill and Melinda have done, which is going around the world and helping those people have things that we regard as absolute, givens in our society. I mean, Bill has taken vaccines to people around the world that die at very young ages and families that get destroyed and all kinds of things for things that we could do something about. Those are the things that we should be working on in your generation.
Hello, I'm Jared Carlson, senior management major. My question is, if you could have one superpower, what would it be and why?
One superpower? Bill, you think more about that than I do.
I don't know, extending one's lifetime would be a reasonable thing.
Yeah, I'll take notes if you have anything to say on that.
I don't think being able to get rid of competitors, that wouldn't be much fun. That'd be like hitting a hole-in-one all the time. No. Being able to read super fast, that'd be nice.
That'd be huge. That'd be huge. Well, Bill can read. So, I mean, he reads about 3 times as fast. And just think of, I mean, I probably wasted 10 years reading slowly. But, no, if you're talking about granting a wish, I mean, what you would the type of thing, I mean, what you really would hope is that somehow you could reduce the threat posed by nuclear knowledge in the world. I mean, that's going to be the great problem of mankind in your lifetime. And the knowledge is out of the bottle. The genie's out of the bottle on that. And you have a lot of evil people in the world. And then the question is, how do you prevent intent of evil people coupled with knowledge, which has now gotten more widespread, to interact in a way where huge amounts of damage are done to people throughout the world. And I think that's the most intelligent thing to work on philanthropically, for example, but I don't know how to do it very well. We do a little, but that's, that would be the wish. But the reason it's just kind of a dream is because the problem is so tough.
Hello, my name is Paul Turnus. I'm a senior business administration and music major from North Dakota originally. I was wondering, what is your definition of success, and what has been your largest non-business success in life?
Well, we played ping pong against a 9-year-old girl in San Francisco. 2 weeks ago. Her name's Ariel.
Yeah, how many points did you get?
She got up. Bill got more points off her than I did. And I thought I was pretty good. And this little 9-year-old, disgusting. She should have been in bed. She totally cleaned us. No, that was a little humiliating.
I'd say in my case, my goal for success outside of work is definitely raising a family. Just getting started with that. And I think there's some unique challenges of when a parent is very visible and has money and things like that. It's not easy in any case to raise kids the right way. But I'd say I hope to be successful at that. So far I haven't caused them any damage. They seem to be doing okay.
We get a lot of people that want us to adopt them. I mean, he's working on his children, I'm working on my great-grandchildren, but otherwise we got the same approach. I would say this in terms of success. This will surprise you. But I would say I've never known anybody that got to my age or close to my age that had lots of people that loved them that felt anything other than a success. I mean, you have lived a successful life if, as you get older, the people that you hope love you do. And that includes your family, your business associates, all kinds of people. And the converse of that is that I know people enormously wealthy, you know, they get schools named after them, and they get dinners in their honor, all that sort of thing. And the truth is that nobody thinks a thing of them. And I have to believe they know that, and that everything gets quite hollow in their life at that point. And they've got all these markers, and there's people on the Forbes 400, you know, that are in that category. And I won't name names, but it's, I can't think of anyone I've known, and I've known some, you know, a lot of people by this point in my life. I've seen them in very ordinary jobs, all kinds of situations. If the people around them love them, they feel very successful.
Thank both of you so much. We appreciate you coming.
With the final